Tonight, a man is under arrest accused of going 115 miles per hour to dodge Monroe and Bibb County deputies. According to Sergeant Lawson Biddick with the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, the chase started on I-75 South today. Deputies tried to pull over 28-year-old Jarvis Mack for driving erratically. Instead, though, he tried to outrun them. The chase ended in Bibb County on Napier Avenue after Mack crashed head-on into another car. That driver did suffer minor injuries. Mack is being held in the Monroe County Jail on felony fleeing charges.
Latest numbers from the Georgia Department of Transportation tonight show more than 1,300 people have died on Georgia roadways just this year. Georgia State Troopers say that this many deadly crashes, many can be prevented. More than 70% of the fatal crashes are caused by driver behavior, and that can include things like distracted driving, speeding, or driving under the influence. Corporal Michael Burns with the Georgia State Patrol says that those things impact your reaction time.
So if you take a second and a half perception reaction time, and then you add in they're looking at their cell phone while they're driving, it drastically impairs the driver's ability to actually come to a stop before having a crash.
Troopers say it's actually easy for them to spot people that are texting and driving. Often, the driver has trouble maintaining a steady speed or staying in their lane.
It's the fastest growing industry and the second largest criminal ring in the nation. That's according to an advocacy group, Tabitha's House in Buford, Georgia. The director of Out of Darkness Ministry, a local nonprofit that rescues women and children from this industry, say they've helped children as young as 12 years old and helped adults as old as people in their 60s that have been abused, held captive, and sexually exploited. WGXA's Ashley Kirkland hears from one Warner Robins woman and her story of survival and shows us how Macon is right in the path of danger.
Sometimes you just get tired of being beaten on.
It's not just a problem you see in a third world country.
I met this guy and I thought he was a pretty decent guy.
It's not just a big city problem.
He said that he will treat me right and take care of me.
But it's happening right here in Georgia, right under our noses.
He shipped me off to Savannah, Georgia.
At the time, 30-year-old Angela Brown went willingly from Florida to Savannah with the man that she thought would care for her.
But once I got there, he wanted me to be his slave, his sex slave.
Sex trafficking is the modern-day slavery. According to the National Human Trafficking Hotline, last year, Georgia was ranked 6th in the nation for the most human trafficking. There have been 2,059 victims of human trafficking in the state in the last decade. This year, 150 human trafficking cases have been reported. The FBI has identified Atlanta as one of the cities with the highest cases of child sex trafficking, in part because of its busy airport. Cynthia Smith, the director with Out of Darkness Ministry Middle Georgia, says it's also Georgia's highways, which make it a prime location for traffickers.
Georgia and California are the only two states who have an intersection where 5 major interstates come together. Traffickers move like underage girls, and not just them, but adult women that they have under their control. And they are Macon, Savannah, Augusta, Columbus, and Atlanta.
There's Macon sitting smack dab in the middle of a traveling circuit for traffickers in this state. Through sex trafficking, Angela was taken from Savannah to Augusta. And during that time, Angela says she was feeding a drug and alcohol addiction to numb her pain. She says one of her traffickers held her captive for 3 days in his home.
And he would just rape me every night.
She says fear causes many sex trafficking victims to remain in that lifestyle.
People think that when women prostitute, it's a choice. I've seen a guy get murdered when I was out there. I've seen how they will beat people up.
Today, Angela educates people on how to spot the signs of human trafficking. She serves on the board of Out of Darkness Ministry, helping other women like herself get out of trafficking.
Just continue to cry out to the Lord, and He will answer.
The same hope, she says, saved her life.
I don't think nobody can really set you free but Christ.
Ashley Kirkland, WGXA News.
For ways to spot potential signs of human trafficking and to learn more about Out of Darkness Ministry, you can click on this story at WGXA.tv.
Current time 10:18. We are live in Warner Robins on the Wilson Bryant Heating and Air Skycast Network. A very ominous sky, an eerie color to the sky tonight. No doubt it's got that dreary fall feel to it, and I think it's going to stay that way overnight tonight and through the day tomorrow. Temperature is 57 in Warner Robins, east-northeast breeze at 7 miles per hour. We know the commute forecast isn't going to be a pleasant one for that drive to work. Rain, soaking wet. Sunrise at 6:59. So let's pause here for a minute. Not only is it going to be actively raining for the commute, but it's been a while since we've had a decent amount of rain. And so you've got all the oils and debris on the road. And then on top of that, leaves and pine needles. So the roads are a little bit slick this evening, and they'll be that way tomorrow morning. So let's go ahead and plan on needing some extra drive time tomorrow morning. Now, conditions should be improved for the drive home. Cloudy and dry with a sunset at 5:37. So the morning commute going to be a little bit of a tough one to tackle for your Thursday. Here's my hour-by-hour rain forecast, and notice starting at midnight, the chance continues to climb, and I think the rain chance really peaks mid-morning around 10 a.m. So the bottom line here, from the commute all the way through lunchtime, we're looking at wet weather during the day tomorrow. Now, coming up later in this half hour, we'll not only tackle what's happening now, but we look ahead to the weekend, and that's when your next weather maker gets here. We'll talk about the changes you need to make to your plans in just a few minutes. Raymond?
Some parts of the mid-state are still too dry, even with some of the scattered showers we've seen.
How it's affecting the economy and farmers' ability to produce something that you drink daily.